Hey guys, welcome back to BrokeNbricks, and today I'm going to be showing you another LEGO creation that I don't have the money to build in real life. This is the Narkina 5 prison from Andor, and this is obviously a MOC, but it is also kind of supposed to be like a playset. Not that I think LEGO would ever make this, even if they did make sets from Andor, just because it's a prison where a lot of people die, that type of thing, so maybe not the most family-friendly thing out there, but it's a good thing that I'm here to take matters into my own hands. So yeah, I'm just gonna basically walk you through my design, and I might make some changes by the end of the video. I'm not too sure yet. So the whole thing is split into 5 sections. We have the workroom over here, and then on top of that we have the command center, and then going across we have one of these sky bridges, and then we have these cells down here, which is also connected to the water outside, and then we have this is like the part where the prison transport comes in, and well, this specific area is the one way out. So before we get into that, I'll just show you the minifigures that I would want this to come with really quickly. So first, we have Cassian, and then we have Melshi, the man himself, Kino Loy, and then this guy with the blue is the Doctor. Then we just have a couple of guards, and then this guy on the right is the announcer guy, the man in charge of the prison. We'll start with the workroom section, and this is 2 floors because we have the lift that comes down. So yeah, I'll just move this out of the way. This is the one of the racks with all of the Death Star pieces in it. So if you turn that, that should kind of fit into this little section here. I'm not quite sure if that will work in real life. You might have to bend the arms of it, but that is where they do put it in the show. And over here we have one of the tables with another of the Death Star parts on top. So that's what the table looks like. I'll just, oops. There we go. Yeah, if I put that there, then you can see how that looks. It's quite a, it was quite a difficult thing to design. It's using these I think they're like propeller pieces or rotors, yeah. So it's using those to get the hexagonal design. Over here on the left we have the bathroom, and you can see the water coming out to short circuit the floor. And I included in the wall this little panel, so if you hinge that down, then you can see the pipes that Cassian breaks to get the water to leak. And then underneath the balcony, this little Technic assembly here is just a lock to keep the lift in place. So what you would do is pull that down, and then that will allow you to move the lift from the doors all the way down to the workroom floor. And yeah, the one thing that I haven't figured out is like a way to make this stop halfway up, like it does in the show. But I guess if you really wanted to, you could just stick some bricks underneath it to keep it about this level, so that they can all climb out. At the top, these doors are on gear racks, so if you turn these pieces here, these are connected up to some gears here, so you can kind of automatically-ish open the doors by turning these. So that's what it looks like with the doors open. I don't think, yeah, that's as far as they can go. They only move 2 studs either way, but that gives you plenty of room to get through. And then on this side we have one of the windows, and this is where the person controlling the floor sits. So the big red square button here is the button to activate the floors, and there's just a chair there for the guard to operate. And yeah, this room here is quite empty, but I did include like a little weapons rack, and this has got a couple of the shock prods, a couple of blasters, and then these here are supposed to be the boots that the Imperials wear to insulate them against the floors. And around the back we have a staircase up to the command center, which we'll look at next. So we've got a big doorway in the back, and then I've got these blacked out windows here on either side to be like the screens that are showing all of the prison information. I might think about like replacing these with a brick built design to get the detail, because I can't imagine there's any official Lego stickers that would match anything close to what it looks like in the show. And yeah, the build that we have here is a bunch of these control panels that go around to make a little semicircle. And obviously the important one is this one here. This is supposed to be like the microphone that Kino speaks into to give his speech to all the prisoners. This here, the bridge, is the first thing that I designed. I was originally going to make like a more of a proper MOC, you know, not supposed to look like a playset, but it ended up being like absolutely massive. So that's why I decided to go with a playset instead. So this it's got a space for 6 studs inside, which, I mean, I guess you could have I guess there is room to have prisoners going in both directions, like they do in the show where the day and night shifts are swapping. And then there are these 4 panels that hinge open like this to make the shape, and also I guess it's easier access for inside if you want to put minifigures in there. And then just between the 2 panels on either side there is this beam going all the way through across the middle. And this whole thing is just it's connected on either side. I've got 2 Technic pins hold it in place, and then just the blue ones to sort of keep it lined up. Then going across, we'll do the cells next. So you can see that we have the 2 different beds. So there's one down there and one up here, and then there is a ladder going up to the top one. And this was a little bit of a pain to design, but I'm pretty happy with how it ended up turning out. And I think the only thing it's missing is maybe some panels on the wall, because this is where the prisoners would have their little displays saying how many days they've got left on their sentences. So I'm not sure. I'll have to see if there's any white pieces that have like printed control panels. And around the back I did have some extra space, so we just have, over here we have a little crate, and this has got medical supplies in it. There's a syringe, a suitcase, and there's also a hammer in there. That's to represent the doctor's equipment, so that just fits that space there. And then down here I just have a little kind of Easter egg. This is supposed to be the piece of equipment that Cassian uses to make the lift get stuck. And then the cells is connected to the water down here, and we just have this little representation of the outside prison wall. It's sloping outwards like it does in the show. And finally we have the corridor to the exit, so this connects up to the bridge on the left side. And then we have a series of these little pillars with the orange lights, and there's a little crate down there. I don't really know why I put that there. It's just, there was just a little bit of extra space, so I just put a crate in there, and there isn't even anything in there, so it doesn't matter. You know, you could take it out if you want to. That would make more sense. And yeah, then the main attraction is the exit to the prison, the one way out. And this is quite a fun thing to build. I think I got the shape down pretty good, and then that matches up to the section with the cells underneath. And yeah, this is obviously where we find out that Kino can't swim, and it's the most heartbreaking thing in the whole of Star Wars. I might change out these tile pieces just so that you can actually have minifigures like standing on the edge. I think that would be better. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much it, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. So I think the instructions are almost done. I made instructions for all of this area here. So it's just the workroom and the control center that needs doing. So I'll go ahead and get that done now, because then when I upload this, it'd be nice to have the instructions ready to go on my Rebrickable. So yeah, I'll jump ahead into the future where I have got that finished. Okay, so I've finished the instructions and I haven't made two main changes. I did what I said, and I made it so there's some studs in this area so that you can have the minifigures displayed on the edge to escape. And the only other thing that I had to change was these pieces at the bottom of the table. I had like the rotor pieces in white and dark grey, and they don't exist in dark grey, and the white ones are super rare and therefore expensive. So I did have to switch those out to light grey just to make it so the model is actually possible and feasible. So with that, this is the completed model, and I did make a render, which I'll be using in the thumbnail and everything. And I'm really happy with how this has turned out. And yeah, so the instructions are all done, and the model is currently waiting for approval on Rebrickable. And yeah, I'll have a link to this when it's been approved. And I did also want to show you, this is the parts list for the minifigures. So I have downloaded this, and I will add it to the description of this video, so if anyone does want to put together the minifigures, then they can do that. Just to show you here, these are the parts I'm using. So the guards are just using, I think it's the Imperial pilot from one of the Imperial shuttle sets, and then we have this piece from some kind of science. Oh no, it's like an engineer from like a Lego City set. I thought that would be the best piece for the prison uniforms. And then I'm using Alfred from the Batman sets for Kino, because obviously it's the same actor. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully you enjoyed seeing my Narkina 5 MOC, and yeah, hopefully some people will buy the instructions. That'll make me really happy. And yeah, I would like to build this myself one day in the distant future, but I mean, it's in the name, BrokeNbricks I am broke, so that's not happening anytime soon. I've got Moria and other things to work on. So that is going to be it from me for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Good, Anakin, good. Subscribe. Subscribe now.
It should.
Do it.